we rested Sunday, and then it was probably the most humid day so far, which we've only had 3. It was hot, and so they got a pretty good taste of what the rest of the camp's going to be like, And we had some guys struggle a little bit with the heat, but they made it through. We were able to work some other things, some red zone, move around on the field a little bit more instead of just being stagnant. And so, it's just another day, guys getting used to their shoulder pads, and we got another day tomorrow with that. So that'll be good to get them in and let them see the film. It's a little bit more mentally stressful right now because we've got finals. The last couple of days, it's you're not thinking about it as a fan or as coaches. We got to adjust the meeting times. Today and tomorrow we have, today was the last day of class. Summer 2, and then we have finals tomorrow on Wednesday. So mentally they're getting taxed a little bit, and physically. So in between they're not really resting. They've got stuff they've got to do. The majority of the guys do.
With that work in the red zone today, did any one particular quarterback stand out at all?
No, I mean we rotated them, and I'm starting to see some guys come to the forefront. We got to find some playmakers on the outside, and we got to be more consistent and challenging our corners. We've got great competition out there with some of our bigger guys. Askew and Mike Evans and challenging DeShazer and Floyd so it's getting a little bit heated out there, which I'll probably saw early today, but that's good. Like I said, competition is a good thing, and we've got to keep competing to get to where we want to be.
When you get in the shells, how hard is it to get the defense to go full speed but not hit people full speed early on?
What are you talking about?
Just when you put on the shells, defensive players want to hit people.
We do everything but tackle. So, we don't take guys to the ground. It's once you put shoulder pads on, it's we stay on our feet, and we're doing it's full speed, except we don't take anybody to the ground. So from that standpoint, it's not very difficult. The better teams I've been on, you don't have to worry about yelling at people to say stay off the ground. You go to pro camps, there's not a whole lot of yelling at people to stay off the ground. They just practice that way, and the more athletic your team is, and the more they understand how to practice, the speed to practice and be physical and stay off the ground, the better off your football team is.
Have you noticed any 1 or 2 players on either side of the ball that was a returning player that you got to work with in the spring take a major step forward?
If I did, I wouldn't tell you right now. It's too early. We've got 3 days of practice, and if there's been a problem that I've seen in the spring, it's been consistency. Talk about a guy, and I look out there the next day, and he takes a day off. So, or I call people pretenders, and the next day they come out and they play real good. So I'm real hesitant about what I'm going to say right now about anybody. We got another week before we, like I said, our goal is to get enough offense and defense and special teams in by this weekend, and then let them play for a little bit Saturday, and get the coaches off the field, and really start to see who's ready to play the game and who's not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Without, we're back there hollering and screaming. It's a different environment than it is going out on Cal Field, and things happening fast, and you having to think for yourself and communicate. And we're trying to give everybody enough fundamentals, enough plays, enough alignments, being able to play the game so that they can go out on Saturday and really be able to evaluate where we are as a team and where we are by each position.
Coach, what do you see when defensive backs work against wide receivers right now, and when they get a chance now to be a little bit more physical with pads on after they've been playing 7-on-7 all summer?
I don't know. We'll see. It's different. We play a little bit of man-to-man. We play a little bit of everything. The key is being able to work together. We go one-on-one. They've been doing that all summer, whether they had pads on or not. And then the key is for us is being able to work together and get the right guys on the field, whether we're playing with 4, 5, or 6 DBs in there. So where they are, their technique, how they're using that. We're making some progress, but we've got a bunch of new guys back there. We're not there yet, but they got to be able to communicate, and we got to find a solid, 7 or 8 guys, which I think athletically we've probably got 5 or 6 right now that athletically can play, but they've got to come on mentally and be able to. We got to get the right pieces to the puzzle. Who's going to play what? If we're going to go field and boundary corner, if we're going to flip the formation, what we're going to do at safety, who's the nickel, all those pieces, and get guys to work. And that doesn't have to be, like I said, we've got 8 practices really until Saturday. And then you've got a total of 29 opportunities. So after Saturday, you really got 20 more opportunities to start to move towards what you want. Does that make sense?
Couple more.
How do you feel about your offensive line group after a couple days? I know today was first day in shells, but
Well, they established themselves in the spring, and they continue to improve. I think Jarvis coming back adds some real mass and girth in there at 330 or whatever he is, but he's behind. You can tell the 15 practices that he missed in the spring. The other guys have moved on, and with a knee injury with a guy that big, conditioning is always a factor. So he's got to get to where he needs to be from a conditioning standpoint and from a mental standpoint, so he can play. And we're working hard at that, but I'm glad to get him back. Shep Klink had a solid spring. We'll challenge him there, moving Cedric over and playing guard and Pat in there. And our T tackles are good players, so we feel real good. I think the thing that we've got to do is establish the guard spot with where Jarvis is, and he's got to come on and Shep, and then really develop who's going to be the twos in that unit. If we're going to go with moving Compton over, obviously he's making a statement, but what we think Bill Matthews can do. I should say Little Matthews. What is he, 280 or whatever he is? But he's still Little Matthews out there, and whether he can handle traveling this year. And my feeling is, a year from now, with Pat being gone, we had a discussion today. If he can handle it, I'd rather him travel and be the backup center and playing games and have 3 years to start as a center than to have a brand new center next year who's never been in a game and do that. There's some people that say that's crazy, but I think if you start in the SEC for 3 years at any position, it's pretty damn good. So, he's got ability. He's got to learn the offense. He's got to be in those types of things. He's not ready yet, but I think over the course of the year, he'll give us some flexibility to really develop that second line for guys in case of injury or in case of substitution.
Is that covered?